Hello everyone, this is Miss Chelsea and today we will be discussing Lewis structures. Now, Lewis structures are diagrams that depict valence electrons as dots and shared electrons as lines around the atomic. Now, nonmetals are looking to get 8 electrons, but when they are bonding to other nonmetals, they have to share their electrons. Let's look at Cl2. Both of these chlorines are looking to get one more electron to fill their outer shell. In order to get the full octet, they need to share their 7th electron. The two shared electrons get turned into a line, which represents a single bond. So a single bond counts as 2 electrons on each chlorine. Sometimes, in cases like oxygen, the atoms will need to share 2 electrons to fill their valence shell. So in the case of the oxygen, notice how the electron on the sides pair up and then the electrons on the bottom pair up. We call this a double bond, and it looks like this. A double bond has 2 lines which represent 4 electrons. We can also have triple bonds where 3 electrons are shared by each atom. Here we have 3 lines which represent 6 electrons shared between the two. And then each nitrogen has its own lone pair of electrons. Not all covalent compounds are diatomic because atoms can also bond to more than one atom at a time to get their 8 valence electrons. As you can see here, carbon is bonded to 4 different hydrogens with single bonds. Each of these single bonds represents 2 electrons, filling up the individual hydrogen's valence shell with 2, as well as the carbon with a total of 8. Remember, each line represents double the number of electrons. So a single bond is 1 line or 2 electrons, double is 2 lines or 4 electrons, and a triple bond is 3 lines or 6 electrons. In order to draw a Lewis structure, we must first determine the number of valence electrons for each atom. We then draw all of these valence electrons around the element symbol from the periodic table. This step is basically just making multiple Lewis dot structures. Next, figure out how many times each atom will need to bond in order to get a full valence shell. Watch out for small atoms like hydrogen that only want 2 valence electrons. Be aware that although every atom tries to create a complete octet, not all of them can due to having a low number, less than 4, of valence electrons. Remember, each atom will say, "I'll share one with you if you share one with me." Put the bonded electrons in the line you draw for the bond. They are no longer dots. Keep all lone pairs as dots. Now remember, Lewis structures show how electrons are shared amongst atoms. They do not show what the molecule would look like in 3 dimensions, aka real life. For this reason, there are a few tricks you should consider when drawing Lewis structures. Water and its cousins, H2S and H2SE, will be drawn at a right angle because this is closer to the real-life picture of water and will help you later on. Notice how we put our lone pairs of electrons, which then get bonded, onto adjacent sides. We draw carbon dioxide in a straight line because double bonds can't bend. They need the lone electrons from 2 sides that are adjacent to each other. Usually, the atom with the lower electronegativity will go in the middle. If you look here, you will see that oxygen has a 3.4 and carbon has an electronegativity of 2.6. Therefore, carbon goes in the middle. Also, nature likes to be symmetric. So, if you have multiple of one element, that's not very likely to be the middle element. It's more likely to be on the ends. Now, when one atom has multiple lone pairs, they go next to each other. So the lone pairs take up a lot of space and make the molecule lopsided. The lone or non-bonded pairs of electrons get a bit more space to spread out by doing this. This creates a very negative area due to lots of electrons.